pleasant and delightful journey ahead.
The story begins with a team of national security guards arriving at the Palampur military base. Captain Amrit Rathod is told by his friend Viresh Chatwal to hurry to his room since he has not used the bathroom properly for 10 days. The captains turn in their weapons and collect their phones. Amrit finds messages from his girlfriend, Tulika Singh, who is engaged the next day, prompting him to plan a visit to her in Ranchi. The next morning, Tulika and her family arrive at the hotel for the engagement, but Tulika tells her sister Ahana that she will only marry Amrit. In the evening, the boy's family arrives, and the engagement ring ceremony takes place, but Tulika seems unhappy. She is surprised when Amrit arrives and asks her to run away with him. Tulika refuses, saying her powerful family won't let them be together. Amrit tells his friend Viresh that the plan is off. Viresh warns that Tulika might refuse to marry him too, but Amrit still believes they will marry. Tulika then messages Amrit that she is leaving for Delhi by train the next afternoon. The next morning, Tulika's family boards a train to Delhi. We then meet Fani, a boy who works at a gas station and is also on the same train. His father, Benny, calls him, demanding he finish his job in 30 minutes. They are actually thieves. Fani spots Tulika outside the washroom. Amrit surprises Tulika by entering the washroom and proposing to her with a ring. She accepts, and they are both very happy. Viresh, who is with Amrit, notices his joy. A boy asks if they are both in the army, as he dreams of joining too. Meanwhile, Ahana heads to the washroom while Fani, disguised as a policeman, tells her to use the other side. The real police grow suspicious as the next station is 2 hours away. Fani kills the disguised policeman, and a large man uses a signal jammer to cut off all phone reception. The gang of thieves attacks everyone on the train, causing chaos. Tulika's family is worried because Ahana has not returned from the washroom. Fani finds Tulika and pretends they are friends, making her scared. He comments on her fresh-looking face and is rude. Tulika's father, Baldio, warns Fani that the police will come after him if needed. Fani, seeing an opportunity, kills their bodyguard, knocks out Baldio, and starts harassing Tulika. The gang robs all the passengers on the train, including Amrit and Viresh's phones. Amrit, worried about Tulika, fights the thieves and forces them to flee. Baldio wakes up and sees the train's chain has been cut, so it cannot be stopped. The group searches for Ahana. Amrit tells Tulika to stay safe with her family while he handles the situation. Tulika moves to another coach with her family. Amrit regrets that Viresh killed the old man, but Viresh explains the old man would have killed Tulika's mother if he had not acted. The gang realizes they have only 10 minutes left and learns that the old man was Benny's brother, making him Fani's uncle. Fani decides not to inform Benny and focuses on taking revenge. They confront Amrit and Viresh. Fani grabs a child to demand Baldev's location, shoots Viresh, and captures him. Amrit captures a gang member named Ravi. Tulika and her father tell Amrit that Viresh has been taken, and Amrit warns Tulika not to mention her sister's name as it might endanger Ahana. Amrit learns from Ravi that 36 gang members have blocked 4 compartments of the train. Ahana is trapped with the thieves, and Fani throws the injured Viresh into her compartment. The gang turns off the signal jammer and calls Benny. They inform Benny that his brother, who is also Fani's uncle, is now dead, and Ravi is missing. Amrit and Baldev notice that the train is slowing down. Amrit brings Ravi inside, and the train stops right where Benny is standing with his men. They board the train, and when Benny sees his dead brother, he breaks down crying. In a rage, he beats Viresh badly and tells his son and the gang members that he wants Ravi and the person who did this to his brother. Fani says, Baldev, the owner of the transport company, is responsible for all this. Hearing her father's name, Ahana stands up. Fani blames Baldev for the chaos and says that another person involved must be in the army. He climbs to the top of the train using a rope. Amrit dangles Ravi outside the train door, then gives Tulika a knife for protection. Baldev locks the shutter as Amrit goes to fight the gang members. A strong man named Sidi arrives and severely injures Amrit, who is captured and brought back. Baldev learns from his daughter that Amrit is a commando in the National Security Guard and questions why this was not mentioned earlier. In a rage, Benny starts beating Amrit mercilessly. Hearing the noise, Viresh wakes up and starts fighting the gang members. Benny leaves to deal with Viresh, who frees himself and continues fighting. Meanwhile, 2 boys grab Benny, and Sidi begins fighting with Viresh, throwing him to the ground. One of the 2 boys fighting Benny gets stabbed in the stomach by Fani and dies instantly. Amrit is shocked to see all this. Then, the big man comes from behind and hits Amrit on the head, knocking him out. Fani enters through the door where Ravi was hanging, deals with the big man, and meets with Viresh. On the other side, Fani frees Ravi and begins to speak rudely to Talika. Seeing this, Buldev gives his daughter the key to open the shutter and starts fighting Fani himself. Talika opens the shutter and runs toward Amrit, but Fani catches her. Talika attacks him with a knife, which makes Fani angry, and he stabs her in the stomach. Seeing this, Amrit becomes furious. Fani does not stop there, he stabs Talika again, this time in the neck, and throws her off the train. Another train is coming from the opposite direction and hits Talika. After getting beaten, Amrit is badly injured and loses consciousness. When he wakes up, he sees Fani sitting in front of him. Fani tells his men to throw Amrit and Buldev off the train. At that moment, Amrit notices Talika's handprint, and we flash back to when Amrit brought a cake for Talika's birthday. They celebrate her birthday, and both look very happy. Back in the present, Amrit becomes enraged, breaks a thug's neck, and starts attacking the gang members furiously, with blood everywhere. Seeing this, some people run away in fear, and Fani also flees. Afterward, Amrit smashes a thug's head with a fire extinguisher. He then goes inside and uses the extinguisher to beat everyone up, even shoving it into one thug's mouth and attacking others with a knife. Meanwhile, Benny and a few others are trying to get off the train. Ravi finally meets Benny and says, they killed his father. Fani arrives, and Benny asks his son that why did he kill that girl? Fani replies that he wanted to demand ransom from her father, but she attacked him, so he killed her. Ravi says that both of them are commandos. They need to get off this train right now, it is not safe here. Benny responds, then the girl's father won't let them live outside either. They do not know how powerful he is, but Fani does not change his mind. He still plans to kidnap the entire family and demand ransom from Buldev. Buldev returns to his family, who have many questions about where his two daughters are. Buldev tells them that Talika has been killed and thrown off the train. Talika's mother starts crying loudly. Amrit is heartbroken too. He then remembers the promise he made to Talika that he would bring Ahana back. He sees the rope Fani used to get inside the train. Viresh comes to him and says there is no point in going after them, they will get off at the next station. He offers to go with Amrit, but Amrit refuses, saying he will go alone to take his revenge. In another compartment, Fani and his men are beating the passengers and asking who came with the commando. Then, some people come to Amrit and say they want to go to the other side, barely escaping with their lives. But these people turn out to be more bandits, and another fight breaks out. Amrit tells one of the thugs to go tell his boss that he is coming and won't spare anyone. The man delivers the message to Fani before he dies. People want to get off the train, but Benny arrives and tells them, do they think they will survive if they get off? He warns that if Amrit gets off, he will have every one of them killed. Amrit climbs up using the same rope. The thugs notice one of their comrades whose body is completely crushed, but this is just a hint of what's to come. Seeing their dead comrade, they all start crying in fear. Amrit reaches another compartment and escapes into the washroom to avoid the thugs. 2 or 3 of them follow, but Amrit kills them all. Seeing his dead comrades, Siti becomes very upset and, in anger, tells Benny that he won't spare those 2. But Benny explains that this is exactly what they want, for them to lose control. He says they will get revenge, but they need to be smart about it. He then scolds his son, saying that for the first time in 30 years, they are in a situation like this because of him. Amrit enters the compartment and asks if they have seen a 15 or 16-year-old girl, but no one responds. The mother of the 2 brothers, one of whom has died, is there. Amrit tells her that her other son is safe. After a while, a man says that there was a girl, and the dacoits took her and 6 or 7 others to another compartment. Hearing this, Amrit tells the people they have to leave this compartment. He fights with some goons and tells the passengers to move to another compartment. But then, a woman says that this fight is theirs too. We see that the boy who is using the signal jammer is now siding with Amrit. Buldev and some others light a fire in front of the door, and a railway employee at the station notices the fire. Inside the train, the police have been alerted, so Fani, Benny, and the rest of the goons plan to escape. As the train slows down, Fani and some of the goons get off, and Benny locks the door. Suddenly, shots are fired at Fani and his men. The police have arrived. Viresh shouts that all the goons are being shot at. Benny is confused about why the police are targeting them now. Siti fights Amrit, overpowering him until a grieving woman attacks Siti from behind with a hockey stick, killing him in revenge for her son. A man reports another death to Benny, who, refusing to leave the train, slashes a passenger's throat. The police arrive, and Buldev is reunited with his daughter, Ahana. Fani returns to the train, kills a police officer, and shocks Ahana with news of her sister's death. In the dark, Amrit kills Ravi, and Fani, enraged by Viresh's shooting of a thug, kills Viresh. Umrit, heartbroken by his friend's death, sets Benny's head on fire during a fight. People trying to escape the speeding train do not survive. Umrit and Fani face off, with Fani taunting Umrit about Talika's death. Umrit defeats Fani brutally. At the station, a special force team arrives, Ahana hugs Umrit, and Umrit sees Talika smiling. The medical team tends to the injured and the movie ends here. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you like the story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more film recaps.